My name is CIE, and today I would like to tell about how a law is made. One of the most important things to the Parliament does it pass to bills, which is what our laws is known as when they are first debated by the Parliament. Before a government bills come to the Parliament, the appropriate minister must convince Cabinet to proceed with the legislative proposal it contains. After agreement is reached, the matter is passed to the Parliament Council, who staff their legal skill with instruction from Minister, Cabinet, or the relevant government agency to draft a bill for Parliament to consider. A bill can be defined as a document which contains a draft proposal for a new law or an amending proposal for an alternative to existing law. It must receive the approval of each house before it can become legislation. Most bills are public bills or law are introduced by the minister. Those agencies will be responsible for implementing and administering the legislation. Any members of parliament is entitled to private and the present of the private members' bill for debate. But because of the government of the day is in control of the proceeding, it may difficult for non-government bills to receive the same consideration that government bills receive. Similarly, any members may propose amendments to any bill during the committee stage, but such amendment will usually accepted by the government only if the proposal has been agreed to in advance. The Parliament starts its formal consideration of a bill at the first reading. Historical of the clerk, an officer of each house of the Parliament, it was required to read the full text to the bill out loud. But in modern time, only the long title of principal bill is read out. No other debate or action will be occur at the first reading. This allows time for the MPs to familiarize themselves with the bills, and it is usual that a minimum fixed of number of 2 days. For example, 2 in the House of Assembly and 3 in the House of Legislative Council. It must be passed before the next stage. The relevant minister or member in charge of the bill move a motion that the bill be now read the second time and the outline of the policy and intention of the bill to the House in what is known as the second reading speech. After the minister have finished this speech, the opposition and other members are entitled to make speeches indicating their support for the bill or any criticism of it. Such speechlets may occur over 7 days. Only after the second reading debate is complete, which means the bill has been agreed in the principle, can the bill moved to the next stage. Second reading speechlets are important because they may be used by the member of the legal profession to help them decide when interpreting the law what the Parliament intention will. Because of this important function, certain extension of explanatory material is often distributed at this stage. This may include a fact sheet explaining the reason for the bill and perhaps course notes in plain English. It is possible to skip this stage and go directly to the third reading if the members of the House support the bill, but it is more usual when a bill has passed to the second reading stage. The House moves into committee of the whole, which is every member of the House, to examinably amend the bill in detail, clause by clause. The relevant presiding officer, which the Speaker of the House of Assembly of the President of Legislative Council, leave the chair on this occasion, and the chair of committees assume the chair of table in order to maintain the control of debates. This committee then proceed to consider, agree to or amend each clause, and leave the title of the bill. At the conclusion of the detailed consideration of the bill, of chair of committees must report progress of completion of the debate to the relevant presiding officer. Note that the commitment stage refers specifically to the detailed consideration of a bill and should not be confused with the operation of Parliament committees, which undertake investigation outside houses. Having resumed of the chair of presiding officers receive a certified copy from the chair of committees, at this stage, it is only the report from the committee that can be discussed because the principal or the second reading stage of the bill cannot debate again. After the report of the Committee of the Whole has been accepted, to the next step is formal motion proposed by the Speaker that the bill be now read and the third time which, if passed, completes the passage of the bills through the House. Both houses of Tasmanian Parliament, which the 25 members of House of Assembly and 15 members of Legislative Council, must approve a bill using the three reading processes. The clerk in either the House of Assembly or Legislative Council sign the bills, which is then sent to the concurrence of the House. Any amendment made by either House must be accepted or approved by both Houses for a bill to finally pass into the law. Most bills will be introduced first into the most of the House of Assembly and will be sent to the Legislative Council. After successfully passes the lower house, but it is possible for the most bills to be introduced in the Legislative Council and go to the Assembly if they successfully passes to the upper house first. That's all for the new law is made. Thank you.